The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today of 4 Goes Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. And follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And don't forget to support The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com/donate. Also support on Anchor FM/support and also on PayPal. And for some cool gift ideas, go to amazon.com/The Mike Wagner Show. And for more great gift ideas, including great books by Mian Mohsen Zia, go to amazon.com/Mian Mohsen Zia and order today. We're here with a wonderful lady who is a very talented singer-songwriter, multi-talented from Santa Cruz, California. She began music at an early age and self-taught herself on guitar, which was a $20 guitar back in the day, and studied music therapy and involved in various activism. She's also the chair of the UN International Day of Peace NGO Music Committee. Also performed and produced concerts with various organizations and play with Dr. John, Michael Franti, and more. And we'll also be celebrating a one-year anniversary of a special release, and we'll be playing one of her songs, during the show. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Santa Cruz, California, the very, very wonderfully multi-talented singer-songwriter Aliza Hava. Aliza, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on as well, too. So you began music at an early age. You taught yourself a guitar. You got one for $20, and you studied music therapy and involved in various activism. You also were part of the UN International Day of Peace, to play with Dr. John, Michael Franti, and more. You're also celebrating a one-year anniversary of a particular release. We'll be playing one of your songs in just a minute. You just have an amazing story. You also had some previous releases, also guest appearances, and more. And before we get into all that, tell us how you first got started, Lisa.
Sure. Well, when I was a kid, I was definitely a theatrical child. I loved to dance, and I loved to make my siblings laugh and kind of put on shows, stories that I would make up, like little kids do. And as I got older, I started singing in the school choir and, just being in some of the musicals at my school and at camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just loved singing. And then when I was about 9 years old, I was going through a really hard time. My family was fighting a lot. There was a lot of just really difficult stuff at home. So I started putting pen to paper and just writing songs to help me express what I was going through. And I never really thought that it was going to turn into a career, but over the years, it did.
Wow, that is amazing. And what was that one moment that precisely influenced you into what you're doing today?
Well, I can't say that there was exactly one moment, but I think that it's a collective experience of growing up in a challenging environment and trying to find a semblance of peace, some calm in the storm, a sense of strengthening myself, when it felt like the winds were blowing in really hard, difficult directions.
Mm-hmm. And of course, just going back to some of the therapy as well, too. And who are some of your favorite singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up?
Well, I really loved classic rock when I was growing up. I loved Janis Joplin, her soul, the way she just kind of laid it all out there. That was very inspiring to me. I loved the raw, real vibe of her energy, and I also love like Creedence Clearwater and Jimi Hendrix, all the great classic rock music, Allman Brothers, Southern Rock, Tom Petty. These are classic bands that I think really influenced music over the years. And as I got older, I really started to listen to more of maybe more nuanced songwriters like Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen, and I was really always interested in that kind of deeper message behind the music. So I also really like the Indigo Girls, who are very spiritual. Their earlier stuff in particular, I felt like their music was pretty spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That sounds amazing as well, too. I'll talk about some of your early works, along with your release of your one-year anniversary called Radiant Light More, should we say Natural State. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout-out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers strangers and one target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Me and Moslin Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Me and Moslin Zia, available on Amazon. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. And follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And don't forget to support The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Also on PayPal and Anchor FM/support. For some cool gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/The Mike Wagner Show. And for more books by me and Moslin Zia and some great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Me and Moslin Zia and order today. We're here with singer, songwriter, multi-talented Aliza Hava here on The Mike Wagner Show from Santa Cruz, California. Talked about her amazing early beginnings, being influenced by classic rock and starting at an early age as well, too, and also studying a little bit of music therapy. And before we get to some of your albums, you also headed up a couple of organizations, like with UN International Day of Peace, and also you produce concert with various organizations. And tell us about those.
Sure. So when I was in college, I discovered I had a knack for putting on shows to help raise money for different causes. And what I would do is I would get a bunch of musicians together from my music department, and we would select a cause, a nonprofit, and we would throw a big fundraiser. And some of these concerts were pretty epic, packed, sold-out shows, and it was really fun, and it was something that I did because I loved it, and I loved to find ways of connecting the community and raising money for a good cause through music. So right when I got out of college, a good friend of mine who I studied with was getting involved with the Young General Assembly at the United Nations, and so she invited me to help her produce a concert connected to the Share the Spirit of Peace Youth Summit that was happening around that time. And so I started slowly to get involved with more projects that were happening at the UN as a volunteer. And then over time, I was invited to help co-produce an event connected to the International Day of Peace, which happens every year on September 21st. And if you haven't heard about it, it's a day of global ceasefire in 192 countries, where people, heads of state, are asked to ensure that there's no war happening in their regions on that day, so that aid can get to people in need. You may have heard of Jeremy Gilley and Peace One Day. He was actually very active in getting that day initiated at the UN. And so, it was just something that really leaned on all of the passions that I had about music and peace and bringing people together. And so over time, I earned a position as the chair of the music committee, and I helped to coordinate concerts on 6 different continents.
Wow.
Which was a huge undertaking, and we had like very, very little to no budget. So it was all passion, all love, and it was amazing. I mean, it was a lot of hard work, but it happened.
6 continents. I can't even handle 6 cities or small towns like that. 6 continents. It makes you wonder, how did you do that? And I guess you kind of wonder, is this like you had 6 continents, like, what are some of the cities that you did, and especially being on low budget, what are some of the big ones you actually did, like some of the 6 continents?
Well, for sure. So, I mean, obviously, partnerships with people in different cities was the key to making this work. It's not like I was solely responsible. It was more about building the relationships with people in these regions who already had interest from their communities to do something like this. So I worked with Mayors for Peace out of Hiroshima. So in Japan, there was an event that was orchestrated with students that were working with Mayors for Peace. So that was really cool. In Australia, in Cairns, Australia, we were working with the city council there. There was a lovely woman who brought together her whole community every single year. And so we teamed up with them for them to host the stage in Australia. We did a stage in New Orleans. That one I was much more hands-on with because I was actually living in New Orleans for some time, pulling that together. And some really wonderful musicians from the community came out. Mickey Hart from the Grateful Dead actually performed at that event. And I'm really grateful to the former general manager of WOZ Radio, David Friedman, who helped orchestrate that as well. And see, that's 3 continents. Let's see, where else were we? We were in the Middle East. I was actually in Israel, Palestine at the time, helping to orchestrate an event over there. And so we had a student band called Heartbeat, which is Israeli and Palestinian musicians for peace doing dialogue through music. So they performed, they were live streaming. And yeah, so I mean, where else were we? LA, in India, there were events in India. And also I want to say, a lot of people and organizations already observe the International Day of Peace with community events and events at their schools and things of that nature. So pulling it together was really about finding a way to get people live streaming their events from their communities and multicast and simulcast it on UN TV, which we did with an organization called Peace Day TV. So that was really the big, the big heavy lifting was all about, getting people set up with time and cameras and making sure that everything was orchestrated so that, there was like a 24-hour global live stream happening from all over the world. It was crazy and it was epic, and I'm just honored that I was able to be a part of it.
I was going to mention something about Harmony in the Holy Land. We performed between Israel and Palestine as well too. And one question I had which really struck my mind, which is very challenging if you're in that area, was there a lot of fighting that was going on at the time, or did everything cease while the concert was going on?
Well, that's an excellent question. So that project was actually a very spontaneous thing that happened after 7 years of planning.
Wow.
Yeah, I had been living in the Middle East in my early 20s. I moved over there from New York, and I was envisioning this World Peace concert that, would have a main stage in Jerusalem with people all over the world watching, and it would host, Jerusalem. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there's a saying that Jerusalem would be a house of prayer for all nations. And I really was tapped into that inspiration and this feeling of like, if we could get people singing from all different cultures from all over the world on this main stage that's broadcast out, it would just be such an inspirational thing for people who are looking for something to give them hope, and a way to just remember that we're all connected, with music as that universal language. And so I was really planting the seeds and talking up this idea for years to people in the community, to musicians and to producers, and even to the city of Jerusalem. I was talking to the company that hosts major festivals in the city. But what ended up happening was it actually all ended up coming together kind of in the spur of the moment. We had a 3-week period to find a location. And so we didn't actually announce that this concert was happening until 2 days before it happened. And the thing about that was so cool is, like, you're absolutely right, it's very dangerous, and a lot of people try to produce events there that are coming from outside of the country. They don't really understand, like, political challenges and actual, just physical challenges of producing an event that is meant to promote peace and unity, especially because there's so much conflict. There's a lot of interests that don't want that to happen, so they try to stop it. You could get a bomb threat, you can get people pulling the plug, government pulling the plug because of security threats. And so the secret that worked for us was that we just didn't tell anybody it was happening.
Oh, really?
2 days before it happened, and then we had a standing room only sold out event, and it was great. It was amazing. I mean, there are some videos on YouTube. It was a very elegant event in a theater that held about 400 people. So it was small, but we had a line of people. There was a mob of people outside trying to get in, and the owners of the theater were like, "What? You told us it was going to be small." We had no idea.
Shh! Don't tell anybody that. Shh! I can imagine. Well, you just lay your secret, but that's a good thing too. So we'll just say, shh, be very, very quiet. Don't tell anybody. And of course, there's a lot of healing that you guys promote as well too. And speaking of healing, you're also involved in a soundtrack called Femme Women Healing the World, and that's also part of it with Sharon Stone as well too. And tell us more about that one.
Sure. So my friend Emmanuel Etier is a French filmmaker and documentary maker, and he is very close with the executive producer Sharon Stone. They worked together on a number of projects. And so what they did was they went around the world interviewing Nobel laureates and leaders, female leaders who have made an impact in their communities, and to really tell the story of how women are helping to make a significant change at the foundation of society. So what was really great about being part of that project is that they really created this narrative about the power of women healing the planet, and they used several of my songs in the soundtrack. And Yoko Ono, Annie Lennox, Ricky Lee Jones, their music was also used in the soundtrack. So I was very honored to be a part of it, and to be sharing that message that it's so important for women to embody our full power so that we can have an influence in the future of the planet.
And that's so amazing. You're also a recipient of the Human Spirit Award presented by the international organization Talent for Humanity, and your story featured in the book along with several others. I mean, that's got to be amazing to be considered for award and be featured in a story along that level. That's amazing.
I was very grateful for that. I didn't know it was going to happen. I got this email, and the gentleman who runs the organization, Thierry Sanchez, he said to me, I've been following your work for several years and your music, and my organization would like to award you this Human Spirit Award, and we're giving it to 7 activists and artists, and we're going to put your story in a book. What do you think? I was like, whoa, okay. How what am I supposed to do? This is amazing. So I was super grateful to be part of that, and the book is available on Barnes & Noble, booksellers, Amazon. It's called Talent for Humanity, Stories of Courage and Inspiration to lead you on your journey.
That is so amazing. A big congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
And that's amazing. Well, speaking of releases, you also appeared on My Pet Dragon, and you also got some other music. You got, we'll be talking about Natural State in after the break. You also have songs for Social Change, Keeper of My Soul, Rise, and tell us about some of your previous releases before we talk about your latest.
Sure. So Songs for Social Change is an EP that is a collection of all of my socially, socio-political messages, talking about the world and issues that the world's facing. And, I think that every folk artist from the 60s on has told the story of what's happening in society to one degree or another, and, being influenced by Bob Dylan and, Joan Baez and that era so much. I think it was very natural for me to write songs that were reflection and observation of what was going on and what still is going on in society. And so that's a lot of my recordings combined into one EP, those particular songs. It's a theme of social change. And then my album Natural State, which came out a year ago this week, that's 10 songs that they're kind of spiritual and also a lot about love and heartbreak and also self-empowerment and really, self-reflection. I think for me, this album is much more about the human experience of love, heartache, growth, personal growth, introspection, really trying to understand when you follow your heart and things don't work out, How can you find a source of strength within you to help you move through those challenges? So I'm someone who's always followed my heart, for better or for worse. I've gotten a lot of good songs out of that heartache that I've experienced. But so the song "Natural State," it's really, that title track is really about, recognizing that when we get back to our natural state and kind of like the essence of who we are in the world, there is grace and there is beauty in the world. And so that's the focus of that record.
Mm-hmm. And before we play one of your songs from Natural State, you also appeared on My Pet Dragon, and maybe a bit about that one.
Sure. Well, My Pet Dragon is an awesome band from New York, and they asked me to come and sit in on a couple of recordings with them to sing harmonies. And, I love to sing, I love to harmonize, and I love to support my friends. And that album was produced by my friend Stephen George, who has a long track record of working with A-list artists. So it was really fun to work with him and Todd Michelson and his partner Rena, and just singing backup. It was really a simple collaboration, but I was really happy to be part of it.
That's so amazing too. And where can we find your music at?
So you can find it on any streaming platform: Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, YouTube Music. Anywhere you stream music, you should be able to find me. And Spotify is actually the best place because I'm going to be releasing a lot of new music in the coming year, so feel free to find me there.
Certainly will, and we're looking forward to it. We'll be playing Radiant Light from Natural State in just a minute with Aliza Hava. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Mosensia of Missing. You can check it out at amazon.com and also on paperback and ebook. We'll be back with Aliza Hava and Radiant Light from the Natural State release 1-year celebration anniversary after this timeout.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshazia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, where The Mike Wagner Show interviews great guests, cool conversation, lots of laughs, coffee, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with singer, songwriter, multi-talented Aliza Hava from Santa Cruz, California, here on the Mike Wagner Show, being involved in a number of organizations, committees, being part of the social activism and a lot of change, and also having a lot of great music out there. And right now, we'll be playing one of her cuts from Natural State, celebrating a 1-year anniversary release. Here's Radiant Light from Aliza Hava right here on the Mike Wagner Show.
My body was thirsty. I went looking for water. On that dry desert road, I found you. You took me to meet your friend and her daughter. The moment was pure and beautiful, too. We sat in a circle. You offered me tea. I politely said thank you. No milk for me. Then we played the guitar and sang so sweetly. In the radiant light, we were free. In the radiant light. Was it all just a daydream? I asked in my mind as I sat on the airplane, leaving illusions behind me. In my hand was your number. I just couldn't believe they were all my lucky numbers. 318 333. You're inside my heart, brighter than the sun, even in the night. Will there come a day when we will be one in the radiant light? Yeah. You got something to say, my love, say it to me. Please don't go hiding. We could still find a way to live our lives in the radiant light. You're inside my heart, brighter than the sun, even in the night. Will there come a day when we will be one in the radiant light? Yeah. My body was thirsty. I went looking for water on that dry desert road. I found you.
Great song by Aliza Hava. That was Radiant Light from the Natural State release, celebrating its 1 year anniversary right here on the Mike Wagner Show. Tell us more about this great song and what inspired you to write Radiant Light.
Well, I was traveling overseas, and I was going to a festival in the desert, and I was supposed to go with a friend, but she got sick, so I had to go by myself.
Ouch.
And yeah, it was kind of a bummer, but I said, this is my only chance to go, so I'm going to do it. So I was kind of, by myself, feeling a little awkward, didn't really know anybody, and it was hot. It was the desert. I gotta get some water.
Especially with a horse of no name. Don't forget that one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so this is an amazing story actually. So I was walking to the water area um, and there was a young man there, very, very handsome young man. And for some reason we started talking. I don't remember exactly how our conversation started, but he invited me for tea with his friend, and I went with him, and we played some music, and we started talking. And I mean, I guess it was the ambiance of the experience, but I just fell for him. I was just, I'm a helpless romantic, and I guess it was the moment. I was in the moment, and I just totally adored this guy. Now, here's the funny story. We ended up becoming friends, and we became friends. That friendship has lasted, I would say, over a decade.
Wow, decade. I mean, that's a record in today's social media. I mean, that is a record. Wow, I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you. See, the funny thing is we never actually dated. We were only ever friends. But the funny thing is that our friendship led to so many wonderful experiences that I had, meeting other people in his community who ended up becoming some of my lifelong friends. So my feeling about it is that there are people who come into your life that you may think that it's one thing when it's really something else. And there are soul connections that, you feel like maybe you've known this person for many, many lifetimes possibly, but they're really meant not necessarily for a romantic connection, but to teach you something, to help you grow, to help you experience new things, and to open up your heart and your mind to things that you might never have experienced before. And the fact is that if I hadn't been by myself, I probably never would have met this person. So, I think the message in that is never being afraid to, to take a chance and kind of just step out on your own. Always take safety measures. Don't be cuckoo and go hitchhiking by yourself. But in this case, it was a safe environment, and I made a lifelong friend. So
I can relate to that because I've been through experiences where you have an accident, you stumble upon something, and that person comes out to help you, or have an unfortunate incident, and becoming lifelong friends. I've had the case where someone said, well, if you didn't park in my spot, or if you didn't, cause a tiny ding, or if your dog didn't run through my yard, or if you did not spill my drink, I would have never met you. I mean, it's that type of thing. I can understand.
Yeah.
There
you have it.
Yes, that is something too. And there's one thing I forgot to highlight as well too. You talked about being in New Orleans. You also play with Dr. John, Michael Franti, and more. But tell us about playing with Dr. John. What's it like?
Well, Mac Rabenak was a very powerful man and one of the most down-to-earth, homegrown musicians I've ever met in my life. So may his memory be blessed. I was very, very, very fortunate to have been invited to Jazz Fest in 2011. I had been singing at an event that was a fundraiser to raise money for victims of the BP oil spill.
Mm-hmm.
These were people who were living in the Gulf who had been working on the Deepwater Horizon cleanup, who were told one thing and the facts were very different. So these were people who were getting sick, and it was a huge crisis. So I was part of this concert to raise money for those victims. And as a result of that, I met Dr. John. Now, when he and I first met, he said to me that he was working on a project to bring together indigenous leaders and native peoples from the Mardi Gras Indian community, and also indigenous leaders, spiritual leaders from around the world.
Wow.
To do a prayer for the healing of the water.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very mystical man, And so he said that the date that he was looking to do this was September 21st. And I said, that's so interesting. I said, that's the International Day of Peace. Did you know that? And he said, no, I had no idea. I was like, well, I've been working on this project with the UN for the concert around the world, and there's definitely a synergy here. So he said, I want to work with you. Let's do this.
Wow.
So yeah, so what ended up happening is that I helped to work. I worked with him and a team of people that he put me together with to create an event called Soul Fire for the Gulf. And it was a prayer with spiritual indigenous leaders, and we did a benefit in Brooklyn to raise money for this event, and so I was on stage with Dr. John and the Rhythm Shamans, which is a group of women, all playing tribal music, and I was singing vocals, and it was great. I mean, it was a really beautiful experience. There's some pictures up on my website of that. I did a solo set, and then I did the set with Dr. John and the Rhythm Shamans, so that was really fun.
And I see the pictures right now as well, too. And when you talk about, being prayer and everything else, this is a case of definitely not the right place, the wrong time. That's best known for his hit for it. And I got to say this. I mean, he does it for a reason. You got to say that.
That is absolutely true, and it was definitely right place, right time. That's a great
I think of that song every time. I don't know why. And Dr. John's one of my favorites and influences. And, getting back to music, where can we find Natural State, Radiant Light, and once again, the rest of your music at?
Well, you can find it all on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, anywhere you stream, you should be able to find my tracks. Natural State is a full-length album. Radiant Light is a single. Social Change, Songs for Social Change is an EP, and I'll be sharing more songs over the next few months. And grateful for everybody who wants to go listen.
We certainly will do so. Once again with singer-songwriter, multi-talented Aliza Hava here on the Mike Wagner Show from Santa Cruz, California. Aliza, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. And just a few more here with you, Aliza. We'd love to have you back in 2021 and beyond. What can we expect from you this year and next year from you? What can we expect from you?
Well, I'm in the process of a new record. I'm starting to write a new album based on my personal experiences growing up in a difficult family environment. Mm-hmm. And I haven't really shared my story so much, but this past year my father passed away.
I'm so sorry.
And I appreciate that. Thank you. The process of grieving and going through the release process of that relationship has allowed me to really delve deeper into some of those experiences and the stories that made me the person that I am today. And I think that going into that is a healing process for me. So it's kind of like my own form of music therapy. So those are the kinds of songs that I'm working on right now, writing new songs. And I've also got a bunch of songs that are in production. So I'm going to be making a lot of new recordings this coming year. And so I guess if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I share my process. I share behind the scenes photos, stories behind the songs. And I'm very active on social media. So if anybody wants to stay connected, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Aliza Hava Music is my handle.
We certainly will do so, Lisa. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
In my career?
Yes.
That's a big one. Big question. Well, again, I have to go back to Janis Joplin because, I've always felt like a throwback. I didn't grow up in the 60s. I grew up in the 80s. But I always felt this connection to Janis Joplin, and people have said it to me without me even speaking her name. They're like, you remind me of Janis Joplin. And so I would have to say that, she's it. You know, I think she also went through a lot. She went through a really rough childhood. You know, she wasn't a pretty girl. You know, I think I was bullied a lot growing up. I wasn't a pretty girl, you know. I think we had that in common, and I think that when she performed, she just kind of bared her soul on the stage, and I've been like that my whole life, you know. I kind of just bare my soul, for better or for worse. I just wear it out on my sleeve. So, um, yeah, Janice, for sure.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And she's taking a piece of my heart right now as we speak, and it's so amazing.
Right on.
And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
General advice?
It can be that. It can be music. Whatever you like. It's up to you.
Well, I guess I'm going to give some general advice because, you know, I want to share what really can connect with most of you guys listening today. You know, this last year, 2020, has been a real hell ride for a lot of people, and a lot of people have suffered, and a lot of people have benefited from this time, but a lot of people have also suffered. And, you know, for those of you struggling with the challenges of what this last year and this whole pandemic has presented, just want to say to find that one positive thing that might have come out of it, and just focus on that as much as you can, and allow the energy from that to just sink into your cells. Because when you feel the positive energy and you let it fill your body, then more positive things will happen, and more positive things will come to you. You know, I went through a really hard time at the start of the pandemic. I was launching a company. All of my investors disappeared. I was launching my record. I had a tour lined up that I had worked on for a very long time to put together. That was canceled. You know, it was a real hit. It was a real hard hit. Thank God I had a roof over my head. Thank God I have a supportive and loving husband. But you know, people who have really been suffering, you know, the thing that helped me was just to find that one positive thing and just to focus on it, and then to allow it to grow. It's like that pinpoint of light in the darkness. Just focus on it, allow it to grow, and hopefully good things will continue to expand and come into your life, and alleviate some of that difficulty and that pain that I know a lot of us have been feeling. So.
And that's an amazing story as well, too. Once again, Aliza Hava, singer, songwriter, multi-talented musician from Santa Cruz, California, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Aliza, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Just keep us up to date. Love you back on sometime in 2021 and beyond. And before we go, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or listen to your music?
For sure. Well, it's been a pleasure to be here, Mike, and I really appreciate everyone who's listening today. You can find me on my website at alizahava.com. That's A-L-I-Z like zebra A, H-A-V like Victor A, alizahava.com. And you can find me on Instagram and on all social media as Aliza Hava Music. I'm going to be releasing new songs in the next 6 to 7 months, in the recording process now. And you can reach me through Instagram, Facebook, or you can find me through my website as well. And if you sign up for my newsletter, you'll get some behind-the-scenes emails and also a free EP delivered to your inbox. So check that out if you'd like to get some free music.
Oh, we certainly will do so. Once again, Aliza, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to keep in touch. You've been absolutely radiant and absolutely natural. And yes, most importantly, fantastic.
Aw, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Mike. Thank you so much for having me.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.